Welcome to the ACX e-learning video on the ALX-G1 system tools. We pick up where we left off with the last e-learning video on serial port assignment. Let's jump right in and see what kind of tools we have available and how they are used. This menu is helpful for setting up and or troubleshooting the system. As with all ACX POIs, we can access the info page for operational instructions. Now let's take a closer look at this menu. On the bottom left we see positions representing the 9 local serial ports on the ALX-G1, complete with their assigned POIs displayed in their info windows. To the right we have the network probe. This tool is especially useful for configuring your LAN for MAC filtering. More on that later. Let's jump right in and test a couple serial ports and make sure they're online and configured correctly. As we can clearly see, not all devices have the same serial protocol. The output we see indicates that the serial port is OK and online. It also gives us the factory settings for the correct parameters for the component's serial port protocol. It should be noted that if your component requires manual configuration of the serial port, it must be set to what is displayed here. At ACX, we have worked directly with each manufacturer and have determined the optimum configuration for their respective component serial port protocol. In the event that you have connected your devices and they are not communicating, a couple quick troubleshooting techniques will eliminate the most common possibilities. Double check your cables. At ACX, we cannot stress the importance of having the correct DB9 cables installed. Also, make certain that they are the correct type of DB9 cables. If your component calls for a null or crossover DB9 cable, be sure that a null cable is installed. However, if your component requires a pass-through DB9 cable and you have used a null cable, it will obviously not work. Always test your cables with a testing device to determine continuity as well as type, whether null or pass-through. An important reminder, in the event you experience communication problems between your ALX-G1 and the target component, use this admin tool to eliminate the possibility that the problem is originating with the ALX-G1. If the test is successful for the serial ports on board the G1, then the possible problem will most likely be downstream or within the cables between the device and the G1. Remember, most common mistakes occur when common sense is overlooked. If assembling your own DB9 cables, be sure that you follow the manufacturer's instructions as to pin assignments at both ends of the cable. There are too many variations and details to consider to adequately cover this in an e-learning video. However, see the PDF tech notes on serial cables for clarification and helpful hints on avoiding the most common pitfalls. Testing your DB9 cables for the serial communication is very important, but just as important is testing your network cables. This may require different testing equipment. However, it does not diminish the importance of having operational circuits between network nodes across your LAN. On the lower right of the screen, we see the network probe tool. Let's initiate a network probe. As we can see, the ALX-G1 is actually probing our network to determine what is connected to our LAN. This is an indispensable tool for gathering all the MAC IDs on your LAN, especially if you intend to employ MAC filtering from your router. For details on MAC filtering, as well as how to configure your router, see the e-learning videos on network installation. After the ALX-G1 has completed the network probe, it will automatically compile and present us with a PDF file for downloading, complete with all the discovered nodes and their MAC IDs on the local area network. Now we simply download the PDF file by selecting the PDF button. Let's open it and see what it looks like. As we can see, as with all ACX system-generated PDFs, we have all pertinent information regarding the ALX-G1 included in the cover pages of the file. Here we see information on serial port assignments as well as the ALX-G1's MAC ID and serial number unit ID. The next page shows us the findings of the network probe. Here we have a convenient listing of each discovered node on the local area network. You may use this information to enter each node's MAC ID in the MAC filtering table within your router. As mentioned, for details on MAC filtering, see the e-learning videos on network installation. We hope this e-learning video is useful and informative. Remember, for more e-learning videos, be sure to visit acxlan.com.